son marries his own mother, but you won't believe what happened on the wedding day. Leonardo had everything planned out. He would make history and marry his mother, Venita. It would be the best thing to ever happen to him, but unbeknownst to everyone this man was hiding a terrible secret, and what eventually happened on the wedding day is unbelievable. Miguel and Venita were childhood friends and they lived with their parents in a small mining town. "You're so beautiful and I'm going to marry you someday," the 10-year-old Miguel said. He also told Venita that he would build her a castle someday. "How?" "We need to ask innocently." "I don't know, but I will," Miguel said. Then he grabbed her hands and they played hide and seek in a garden close by, and that's how this love story began. When Miguel turned 28, he asked Venita to marry him and they had a lavish wedding party. By this time, Miguel, just like his father, was also working in the mining company, and he and his wife moved into an accommodation provided by the company. It was modest and beautiful. The mining job was quite strenuous, and Miguel, unlike his father, wasn't quite strong and often complained of body pains. However, this didn't stop him from working because he had to provide for his family. 5 years later, Miguel and his colleagues were working when a landslide occurred. Only a few survived the incident, and luckily Miguel was among them. When this happened, Venita advised her husband to quit his job and start something else. Although he didn't quit, he bought a piece of land and planned to go into horticulture later. So, for the time being, he abandoned a piece of land and continued with his job. Little did he know this land would eventually pave the way for his dreams and give his family the kind of life they wanted. 7 years later, the couple now had 3 kids, Princess, Jonathan and Leonardo, the last-born, and it was this boy that took his mother to the altar for a stunning reason. Miguel continued working at the mining company while Venita looked after the kids. Unfortunately, one evening Miguel was rushed home after sustaining an injury to his leg. The accident left him bedridden for a couple of weeks, and after he recovered, his company asked them to take a couple of months off work to rest. Soon enough Miguel got tired of staying at home, so one day he got a mower, went to the land he bought and started plowing the field. 3 days later, while working on the land, Miguel spotted something that made him freeze. It was a little rock and it had a lighter color compared to all the other rocks he had ever seen. So, Miguel suspected there was gold in the land. He started digging and it didn't take long before he found a tiny golden nugget. Filled with excitement, Miguel rushed home and broke the news to his wife, and she was overjoyed. Over the next couple of months, they found more golden nuggets worth a fortune. The family could now live comfortably even without working a single day. Miguel finally built the castle he promised Venita. Several decades later, Miguel found another golden nugget, and this one was as big as the size of a baseball. He hid it somewhere and disclosed the location to his wife. One day while the couple was talking about the golden nugget, Leonardo eavesdropped on the conversation. Later that evening he asked his parents where they hid the treasure. But they told him that they would let him and his siblings know at the right time. Years later, Miguel and his wife, now empty nesters, still enjoyed each other's presence and they had lots of fun. Their love for each other grew daily. When Miguel turned 70, he fell sick and passed away in his wife's arms. Their children, now grown-ups, flew back home and they gave their father a befitting burial. 2 weeks later the kids, except Leonardo, traveled back to their various destinations. Now that Miguel was gone, Leonardo asked his mother about the whereabouts of the golden nugget. But she told him it wasn't yet time to reveal the secret. That day he got so angry and yelled at his mom and slammed the door against her. Miguel's demise took a negative toll on Venita. She stayed up all night reminiscing on the past. Sometimes she became sick and Leonardo paid no attention to his sick mother. Instead he spent the whole day searching the whole house and yard for the golden nugget. Soon enough Venita started showing signs of dementia. Leonardo was scared that his mother would forget where the golden nugget was hidden. Leonardo didn't take Venita to the hospital. Instead he kept her in the house, hoping she would divulge the secret to him. Then one day something devastating happened that day. Leonardo heard his mother laughing and he eavesdropped on her. It seemed she was talking to someone, but from his hiding place he didn't see a phone with her. As she was done, Leonardo left his hiding place and rushed into his mom's room. He was so shocked to find her smiling radiantly. "Why are you so happy?" he said. "Guess what? Your father will be back in 3 days. He went to Paris to get my wedding dress. I am getting married to him in 3 days," Venita screamed excitedly. She looked so happy. Leonardo didn't convince his mother that she was hallucinating. Instead he came up with a vile plan. On the 3rd day Leonardo dressed like his father. He glued some beads on his jaw and wore his father's hat. Then he went to Venita's room. As soon as the poor woman saw him, she jumped to her feet. At that moment, Leonardo went down on his knees and asked his mother to marry him, and she screamed yes. That evening Leonardo rushed to the church to make wedding arrangements with the priest. Leonardo also told the priest that his mom was mentally stressed lately and he thinks that the wedding would heal her mind. Finally, it was the wedding day. Venita's face was beautiful. Leonardo also dazzled in his tuxedo, but the look on his face was strange, wild and vain. Under the shadow of his head his face gleamed with greed. He was this close to what he had been planning, and nothing or no one would stand in his way and jeopardize his plans. Venita asked Leonardo to take his hat off. She didn't suspect anything. It was just an innocent request. Leonardo knew it would look suspicious if he turned down Venita's request, so he did as he pleased, hoping she wouldn't recognize him. As soon as Leonardo took off his hat, Venita let out her scream. She recognized her son right away. The moment made her remember everything. She couldn't believe her son would go to such lengths because of the gold nugget. She was devastated and ran out of the church. Leonardo felt so embarrassed by his actions he also took to his heels, and that was the last time anyone ever saw him.